Isn't he a wonderful God?
Yeah, I'm just thinking he loves us because he makes us laugh a lot.
He makes us warped. A little twisted. No, that's the right word. Twisted. A little twisted. Twisted. Rahab put out a red cord. Red cord means hope. Waiting. Be still and know. Wait. Waiting and hope are the same. It's not inactivity. It's not sitting on your butt. It's trusting while you continue to abide. It's trusting while you continue to do the mundane day-to-day things. You're trusting and hoping, which is waiting on him. And I wish I had a third one. Oh, I do. Because hope, if you read it, it says twisting. It's a twisting of cords. Look at that. Hope. And it's red.
No.
Okay. I'm going to go to chapter 16 of Genesis. Boy, moving right along. When did we start this? I don't remember. That's okay. That's all right. So now you're getting a little knowledge, right? Education. But does he always bring in something to apply for discipleship, for training? Yes. Otherwise, why bother? You all read, right? Okay, and if you're not, okay, this is what? March. This is March. Okay, so this is March. Some of you started in January reading through the Bible in a year again through Seeking Scriptures. If you have fallen off the wagon, get back up. Don't go backwards. Just start where you are. Okay? Some of you are reading Parashah, but not just Parashah. The entire Bible, but with you're reading the Parashah all year, and prophets, and writings, and New Testament, and not just the little portions that, the little few verses. You're reading the whole, in other words, you're reading the whole Bible, but on the context of Parashah. If you have stopped, start again. Okay, start today. Don't go backwards. Don't try to fill in the blanks. Just step in. Step in. Okay? Step in.
Genesis 16.
Bible, reading. And if you haven't, and you're not reading, you didn't start with the Parashah, and you didn't start Genesis in January, start today. Okay? I can give you a readout, and just start checking them off, and just read through it. Okay? I eventually, honestly, I love y'all. You want to keep doing Seeking Scripture? I think it's a marvelous program. Don't get me wrong. I want us all on the Parashah program. Okay? There's a reason for that. It's the same reading. It's the same schedule Yeshua followed and his disciples and Paul. So if we're going to be part of a family, and we are, and we're grafted in, let's be grafted in. Okay? Can you do both?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't know.
You can turn on YouVersion and listen to it, for crying out loud. You can do it. It's not too hard for you. It's not too hard for you. Isn't that what Scripture says? It's not too hard for you. You can do it. Shoot, you got all of Shabbat. I mean, you can read the whole Parashah on Shabbat and the whole thing. For crying out loud, in 2 hours you can read a whole book of the Bible with multiple chapters.
Take it into the throne room.
Take it into the throne room on Shabbat, out of whatever. Oh God. Okay, it's not too hard for you. You can do it. It's what you choose to do. It's what you choose to do. Okay? It's what you choose to do. All right. I mean, in all honesty, you can read the whole Bible in a month. How many of you ever read a good book, and man, 10 o'clock at night, and you're usually in bed to sleep at 8, and a little bit more. Okay. All right. Genesis chapter 16, says the woman who's taken how many months to get to Genesis chapter 16?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're still here.
We're still here. Okay. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, their names still haven't changed yet, had not borne him a child. Wow. But she had an Egyptian slave girl named Hagar. Wait a minute. Did he just not have a cutting covenant? Yeah. And did he not say, I will give you, and he said, oh, but my slave, it will be my heir. No, an heir from your body will come. She had an Egyptian slave, wonder where she came from, named Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, as wives do, here now, Adonai has kept me from having children. Stop thinking. Stop trying to help him. Go in and sleep with my slave girl. Maybe I'll be able to have children through her. This is a cultural thing. Okay, it is. It is cultural. Shh. Thank you. I know you found it, but shh, keep it quiet. It's a cultural thing. Okay, it's a cultural thing. So, Abram listened to what Sarai said. When's the last time you heard that?
Back then.
The woman you gave me!
Yeah, typical man did what his wife said.
Go up here! Say no! Oh. You know that campaign that used to just, when it came out in the 80s, just say no.
I thought he said, do I have to?
I mean, you know, I'm just say no.
A man should listen to his wife if it's of God.
Yes.
Okay? If
Yes.
it's of God, by all means.
That's true.
Yes.
For safety.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because is it wise for a man to listen to his wife? Yes. Why? Men are tell you, correct me if I'm wrong, you men. You see here.
Oh, yeah. Multitasking is difficult.
Yeah.
You don't know what multitasking is. I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
So you do this. You are goal oriented. This is the road.
Yeah.
This is your plot.
Yeah.
This is where you're going. You don't see nothing else.
No.
Women.
Yeah.
Woo! So if you're smart, but you're going to listen, to all the things that you haven't thought of. It doesn't make you less. It doesn't make one more smarter. Lousy English. It doesn't make you better. Doesn't make you smarter. Okay, but God created two, because the man needs to focus, but he needs to hear the other point. Oh, I didn't consider that. I didn't think of that. I didn't see that. And then whomp. And once he puts that, now the decision is his. Okay? Now the decision is his. All right? And he's held accountable to God. Because later on, when we do get into the law, if a woman makes a vow, a daughter or a wife, and the father hears of it and goes, oh, no, that's not a good vow, he can null and void it. Why? Because he's the authority, the head. Okay? So we need to understand. I can see boy, can I. But then it's got to get focused and directed, okay? So you got to, and then the man takes it and comes with a decision. And that's why the decision is his. Because he can now take those things and focus and put it into what needs to go. Okay? All right. For those of us single, God fills that role. The Holy Spirit fills that role. Counselors fill that role. Elders fill that role. Parents, those who step in is the role of parents. We fill those roles. Okay? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Whew. How many verses did I do? Good grief. 2. All right. Abram listened to what Sarah said. There's not a problem with him listening. The problem is in what he chose to do. Okay. So it was after Abram had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan that Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar the Egyptian, her slave girl, and gave her to Abram, her husband, to be his wife. 10. There is a Jewish thought in the land of Israel where 10 is the number of testing. It was after Abram had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan that Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, the slave girl, and gave her to Abram, her husband, to be his wife. Abram had relations with Hagar, and she conceived. But when she became aware that she was pregnant, she looked on her mistress with contempt. You know, I can't bash Hagar. I mean, is it right for her to have contempt on her mistress? Look, I have a child, you don't. No, not really. Mm-mm. But for a second, let's not look at this spiritually. Let's look at it in the flesh. Wow, I can't believe I just said that. What choice did she have? Absolutely none. Absolutely none. You know, I think of Leah, a loveless marriage. Duty only. What choice did she have? And it's not even her culture. Well, okay, the culture of being a servant and given. But you know, there's some thought that when Abram and Sarah went down into Egypt, into Pharaoh's house, that part of what happens is Pharaoh gives of his own household to someone he considers equal. There's an exchange of servants. So she could have been the daughter of Pharaoh, possible. At any rate, she came from Pharaoh's household, daughter or not. She had some more standing than just your average Joe Schmo. And in here, she has no say whatsoever. So don't go beating up on the girl. Okay. But when she became aware that she was pregnant, she looked on her mistress with contempt. And Sarai said to Abram, "This outrage being done to me is your fault." Well, that's true. It is. It really is. You know, you could say, well, it was her idea. Well, yeah. Okay, but, you know, my situation was a little bit different. I lived under abusiveness. And so if things went well, it was to his credit. And if things went bad, it was mine. But figuring out how to do it was always left up to me. But again, if it went well, he got the credit. And if it went bad, and there's a witness, she'll tell you, then it was on me. So that's what women do. We see all these different possibilities. But he didn't focus on what God said. He did something different. So yeah, it is kind of his fault. Just saying. This outrage being done to me is your fault. True, she says, she acknowledges her portion. I gave my slave girl to you to sleep with, but when she saw that she was pregnant, she began holding me in contempt. Now, does he have influence here? Can he do something about this?
Yes.
Yeah, he can. That's not necessarily going to change Hagar's heart, but it will change her behavior. The law will not change your heart, but it will change your behavior. See? That's why we have law. Law is for behavior, not heart. You might come up here with me? Or do you want to go back with Nana? Okay, then stop messing with Sissy, okay? Thank you. You said you were hiding behind somebody. Law is flesh. Outward, laws to make us comply. Okay? It's for the outward person, the flesh, not the inward. Law can't change your heart. Okay. She began holding me in contempt. So may Adonai, Yet-Heh-Vav-Heh, decide who is right, I or you. This is Sarah to Abram. Who's right, me or you? However, I love it. Abram answered Sarai, look, she's your slave girl. isn't she your wife now as well?
Yeah.
She's your slave girl. See, it's very interesting. So here's the thing. You know, we all know about this term called bonding. Okay. I bonded to the child when I was carrying the child. Not all women do that. So that's not a judgment. Okay. Some women don't bond until after the child is born. I bond they're my will, my bond. That's who I was. Okay. That's who I am. Most men, same. They can see a future. You can bond with the child in the womb. That was my father. Or they can bond after. Or not at all. That was my ex. Anyway, there's that. Okay? So you follow me? So Abram isn't bonded. It's not real yet. It's not flesh and blood yet. Okay? So don't, understand there's differences there. We can't necessarily hold them to what I know, but what happened to me, my experience. Okay? All right. Because we're quick to judge other people. We haven't walked in their shoes. We're not their character. We're not their personality. And so, I would never judge a mother who doesn't bond with the child in the womb. What about a surrogate mother? Lord have mercy, I could never do that. Why? Because I bond in the womb.
Right, 100%.
Okay, so don't put my experience, me, onto someone else. Your focus is wrong. Okay. I don't know where that came from. Whatever. However, Abram answered Sarai, look, she's your slave girl. Deal with her as you think fit. And then Sarah treated her so harshly that she ran away from her. Why? There's a lot inside of Sarai. How, she's older. She can't have children. She's beyond, there's no physical way she can have a child. Okay? There's no physical way she can have a child. There's none. Doesn't exist. And then she's got this young thing and produced this child. And so, and your husband did this even though you suggested it. How dare he? You got to understand the workings of a female mind. Okay? There's hurt. And so there's this line, no, I'm not espousing Disney. But there's this line in Lady on the Tramp. Miserable being likes more miserable being. Then she's happy. It's in there. Trust me, it's in there. When we're hurt, you can do one of two things. You can either have more compassion, or you can lash and put your hurt and transfer it to something and someplace where it shouldn't be. Displaced anger, displaced resentment instead of dealing with it. You can either deal with it and learn how to become compassionate. See, you can have two people. We talked about this last week. You can have two people, two children, two individuals, two adults raised in the same home, same circumstances, same circumstances. And one chooses one way and one chooses another.
Exactly.
Okay? Always choose right. Stay the course. All right? Stay the course. Always choose right. You're doing good. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Sarai treated her so harshly that she ran away from her. And the angel of Adonai. Okay, that's a whole lesson, but I've gone there before. Okay? The angel of Adonai found her by a spring in the desert, the spring on the road to shore. Where's she going? Back to Egypt. She's going back to Egypt. Where do we go when things don't go the way we want? Things are hard. We run back to Egypt. Don't run back to Egypt. Okay. All right. But God. Hagar, Sarai's slave girl, not Abram's wife, because she's been treated. He's meeting her where she's at. See, she's been cast out as a slave girl. She doesn't see herself, no one does, as Abram's wife. So God meets her where she is. Do you see that? He meets her where she... Why would he care about Hagar? It's not his will that any should perish. Yeshua came to seek the lost of the world. What does Egypt represent? The world. Hagar is Egypt. Hagar, Sarai's slave girl. Where have you come from? Like he doesn't know. And where are you going? Like he doesn't know. But you see, there's dignity, conversation, relationship. Okay? It's like, when I correct this one, I already know what she's done. What'd you do? Duh! Right? Now, why you did it, that might, well, it's a little, She answered, I'm running away from my mistress Sarai. And the angel of Adonai said to her, go back to your mistress and submit to her authority. Is that what Abram should have done?
Yes.
Yes. Abram should have taken it, resolved the issue, and said, Hagar, I understand. And yes, your child is prominence. It's my child. And yes, you have, and brought her as a wife, not Sarai's slave, and treated her accordingly. But first wife, second wife. You understand?
Yes.
Culturally, there is a first wife. They have stamina. You are to respect the first wife in this
100%.
culture. Okay? That was Abram's job. Go back to your mistress and submit to her authority. The angel of Adonai said to her, I will greatly increase your descendants. There will be so many that it will be impossible to count them. And the angel of Adonai said to her, look, you are pregnant and you will give birth to a son and you are to call him Ishmael. God pays attention because Adonai has paid attention to your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man with his hand against everyone and everyone's hand against him, living his life at odds with all his kinsmen. Most people take that as a complete negative, and Ishmael is not God's chosen. God, like Esau, Jacob I have loved, Esau I've hated. It didn't mean he detested him. Hate does not mean that in Hebrew. I have chosen Jacob. Esau, I'm not so happy with you, but I love you. I'm going to leave the door of salvation open to you. He doesn't cast Ishmael out because he hates him or detests him or because Ishmael's evil. And by the way, Ishmael is Egyptian, not Arab. Islam takes Ishmael and creates him as the father of, when it was actually Muhammad in 700 AD. The Roman Catholic Church takes Peter and 300 years later makes him something. Just because somebody took his name and abuses it and turns it into something doesn't make Ishmael evil. It said, God pays attention. He blesses him. He gives him 12 tribes. He blesses him. It's not his will that any should perish. Do you see what I'm saying? In the end, he's Egyptian. Don't we know that Egypt, if we read prophecies, Egypt is going to be saved. That's Ishmael. We really need to line up to what it says, not what we've been taught or what we hear. Okay. He will be a wild donkey of a man. Okay, he's just saying what kind of character he's going to have. With his hand against everyone and everyone's hand against him. Well, is that true? Yeah. So she named Adonai, who had spoken with her, El Roi. Wait a minute. An Egyptian pagan woman named God? An Egyptian pagan woman. Is his hand on her? Did he go hunt her down? Is he concerned about her well-being?
Yes.
Hagar is not an outcast. Hagar to God. She has a purpose in God's kingdom. And he cares about her. And she gives him a name. El Roi. The God who sees me. That should give us all hope. The God who sees me. An outsider. A woman of the world. A woman of the world. Less than, not even a wife. A slave, pregnant, outcast, tossed aside, left on her own, and he saw me. if that doesn't give you hope, I really don't know what story in Scripture can give you much more hope than, I mean, that's, wow. And not only did he see her, he hunted her down.
Yep.
What is that? What do I tell you when you pray for your kids? Hunt them down relentlessly. You read about the shepherd, Psalm 23. He will hunt you down relentlessly and find you and pull you out. Why? Because he sees where you are and he goes after you.
Yep.
Comes. Even if I don't raise my hand, I still have covenant. He knows. He's faithful. Okay. So she named Adonai, who had spoken with her, El Roy, God of seeing, because she said, have I really seen the one who sees me and stayed alive? This is why the well has been called Be'er Lacha Roy, well of the one who lives and sees. And it lies between Kadesh and Bered. And you can go to that place today. Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram called the son whom Hagar born Ishmael. How would he know? Who was the name given to?
Hagar.
Yeah. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram, not to Sarai. Not her child. Not counted her child. She wants nothing to do with him. And we'll find that up and we'll pick it up later. But the takeaway today, besides what we talked about earlier this morning, is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your upbringing, your culture, your background, your understanding of God. She had no biblical knowledge whatsoever. There was no Bible. It was all oral. Don't even get me started on the oral law of the Mishnah and the Talmud. There was no oral law. I can show that to you in Joshua. Maybe we'll get there one day. She just had the faith of Abram at this point. Okay? And the knowledge of the God of Abraham. Not Isaac and Jacob. Just Abram. Isaac's not even around. You follow what I'm saying? The God of creation. The God of Noah. And Shem. Okay? So what did she have? We have all of this. And we still get hung up. She had none of this. Just the knowledge of. You follow what I'm saying? Okay.